I think our schools should be open 12, 13, 14 hours a day. So it's not just lengthening.
So 8 to 8 or something like that?
Yes, and let me tell you what, not just lengthening obviously the school day, but a wide variety of after-school activities. At home we attached healthcare clinics to about 24 of our schools. Where schools truly become the centers of the community, great things happen. So I think we need the schools open much longer hours.
So keep them open 12 hours a day, 12 months a year?
Yes.
12 hours a day, 12 months a year.
And I would go to 6 or 7 days a week, not just Monday through Friday.
7 days a week.
Schools
so the school becomes a center of community life.
Where the school becomes a center of community life, great things are going to happen for those families and great things are going to happen for those children.
Then tell me why that hasn't happened before.
And what I came to understand as I got older, that literally the difference between those who lived and did well and those who died was education. I didn't have one friend who made it out and went to college who ended up getting killed. The students that dropped out, the students that didn't have the opportunity, they didn't make it. They literally didn't make it. And so this battle is about more than education. This is a battle for social justice. And that when we give those opportunities and when we stay with children, they can go on to be the Hollywood movie stars and the brain surgeons and the IBM leaders and the great educators. And when we don't, the consequences are absolutely devastating.
As far as I know, the first state summit following the President's Summit, and I think that's a great credit to your governor and to the state of Kansas to be doing that. At least your timing's good. And I would suggest 3 things. Number 1, find out what's really going on, because I don't think most people know what's going on in schools, how children are growing up, or what's really going on in the world. Number 2, I want to suggest that you create in Kansas a brand new American school. Brand new American school. And number 3, I want to suggest that when you do that, you help that new school develop some new goals and new report cards for itself. I would go down to the maternity ward of the local hospital, or whatever you call the part of the hospital where the nurses are, who are there when the babies are born, and find out how many babies are born out of wedlock, how many babies are born with single parents, just so you know that. I would think the brand new American school would be year-round, open from 6 to 6. Second characteristic might be that these schools will serve children from age 3 months old to age 18. That may be a shocking thought to you, but if you were to do an inventory of every baby in your community and think about what the needs of those babies were for the next 4 or 5 years, you might see that those needs might not be served any other way. They have to be served in some way, and maybe around the school. Or if you studied a little more, you might go back and think the school might even need to serve the pregnant mother of the baby in terms of prenatal health care. Teams of teachers. Albert Shanker suggested that maybe there ought to be a team of teachers attached to a child from the day that child arrives in the school to stay with that child all the way to the 8th grade. All this would mean there would have to be a very professional corps of teachers, wouldn't it? They'd have to be very, very good, because they would be dealing with lots of volunteers. We have a big national service feeling in America today. Why aren't those people working in schools? Well, one reason is it's hard to handle volunteers. So this team of highly trained principals and teachers would have to have career ladders. They would need to be master teachers. They would need to be paid $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year to create a brand new American school in every state capital. The great advantage of that would be there wouldn't be all these arguments about whether to do this program or that program or which one to do first. You wouldn't do any of it. You would create one school, and you'd give the responsibility to one person who would form one team, and you give them 1 year or so, and if they succeeded, then all the rest of us would want to be in that school too, wouldn't we? And so